I'm part of nearly 1 in 10 females in higher education who will have or will be raped, and 1 in 6 males who will experience sexual abuse or assault in their lifetime, and almost half of transgender people experience it in their lifetime as well. So we're in no means alone, but that's exactly how I felt when it happened. I was raped by someone that I knew and someone that I trusted. About a week after it happened, someone who I knew called me a slut. So that started my own projection on myself of that it was my fault. I think it's made me feel the ugliest that I think I ever will feel. It's not just feeling ugly on like a superficial appearance sort of level, it made me feel ugly in terms of every part of me. I went to the enabling services at the university and they offered me amazing support that I'm extremely grateful for, and I'm able to appreciate now that it wasn't my fault. People don't know what sexual harassment really means. People don't really know what consent means. I'm trying to advocate that consent workshops should be set up university-wide from the minute that a student enters the university. I'm a medical student. We've had patients and lecturers tell us about how it feels to have, say, rheumatoid arthritis, but we've never had someone stand in front of us and say, I was raped and this is how I felt, and if I went to a doctor for help or a GP for help, then this is how I would want them to talk to me. And as well as that, we've never been told what consent actually means. If we don't know what it means, then we could be the people who are assaulting people, raping people. I think it's important for people to take the survey because the university needs to know how much a problem this is. What's happened to me has made it really personal for me, and it's made me see that it's something that has to change. Because when I think about when it happened and that younger person, I wish someone told me that it wasn't my fault, but no one did. It's not your fault. It's in no way your fault. This is a failing of other people on you and society on you. It's not your fault. Get help and support that you need, and please reclaim your voice so that you can speak up. And I'd like to tell you that things are going to change.